Oh no! Your Nemetra viscometer came without a block RTD. No worries, with this tutorial you'll have your machine up and running in no time. First, you must remove the top 3 screws that are attached to the transducer of the viscometer. Once all 3 screws have been removed, simply pop off the transducer to reveal the wiring below. There are 2 terminal blocks hidden underneath the transducer. The outermost terminals are reserved for the transducer we just removed, while the innermost terminals are reserved for the wires that go into the sensor block. Since it is very difficult to get to the sensor block without removing all of the inner wires, all of the inner wires in the innermost terminals must be removed. Once all the inner terminal wires have been removed and unfurled, we now have access into the undermost sensor block. Put the wires over to the side, for we will be using them later. In order to get to the sensor block, remove the bottom 3 screws from the viscometer. Once the bottom 3 screws have been removed, it is recommended that a flathead screwdriver is used to pry off the sensor block cover. Once the sensor block cover has been removed from the viscometer, these wires that came from the innermost terminals are going to be put through the center hole. Once the inner terminal wires have been successfully threaded through the sensor block hole, gently lift up the sensor block cover to reveal the dome below. This is the prime RTD, and this is where the block RTD will be placed. When you have located the block RTD hole, gently slide in the RTD itself until met with resistance. Then, using a permanent marker or pencil, mark off where the RTD stops. This step is crucial in determining whether the RTD has been accurately placed. Once the RTD has been correctly placed, add adhesive or glue to the RTD hole to prevent the RTD from sliding out of place during reassembly. Once the glue or adhesive has dried, gather all the wires together into a rope-like bundle. Then, use plastic tubing to bundle these wires together temporarily while we slide it back into the sensor block hole. Once all wires have been gathered together, we are now ready to start the reassembling process. Simply take the sensor block cover and the transducer cover in one piece and slide the tube through the sensor block hole. Then, gently lower the sensor block cover onto the sensor block, making sure no wires are pinched or pressed. Once the sensor block cover has been secured, lift up the transducer block cover and simply pull the plastic tube out of the sensor block hole. Once untangling all the wires, we are now ready to start the rewiring process. You may notice that you now have 11 wires, yet only 8 connected terminals. Well, this is where terminals 9, 10, and 11 come into play, with their corresponding colors of black-red, black-white, and black-green. The bottom of the adapter will have the last 3 remaining wires you need to complete the terminal block. And after adding these last 3 leads onto the terminal block, you are now ready to connect the block RTD into the circuit. The primary RTD's colors are red with a black stripe, green with a black stripe, and white with a black stripe, while the block RTD's colors are black with a red stripe, black with a green stripe, and black with a white stripe. Once all wires have been connected, simply pop the transducer cover back onto the viscometer for final assembly. All there is left to do now is to re-screw all 6 screws into the transducer block cover and the sensor block cover. And there you have it. You have successfully added the block RTD to your Nemetra viscometer. If you have questions, comments, or need more troubleshooting, feel free to contact us or watch more of our YouTube videos for further help.